This is Greg Trotline with Marine Technology TV, and we're very pleased to be joined by Richard Turner of Hexagon to talk about the launch of the GAJT 310 for marine use. So Richard, to start us off, first and foremost, thanks for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you.
Oh, you're welcome. It's good to be here.
Absolutely. So we're here in sunny Southampton. I understand it's always sunny down in Southampton.
You're very lucky.
Very lucky, believe me. I've been coming to this show since 2008. Again, I'm sure many viewers watching this know the Hexagon name, but why don't you just give us a short overview of the company?
Yeah, so I work for Hexagon A&P, Autonomy and Positioning. So we specialize in positioning and autonomy services, equipment and correction services. Specifically for marine, we have a brand Veripos, where we provide offshore services for big DP vessels and things like that. But we also have Novatel brand, which takes receivers and particularly antennas and anti-jam antennas into the marine market. And I look after that.
Okay, no, it's spectacular. So again, I know we just actually came from your incredibly busy booth. I understand that you are launching the GAJT 310 for marine use. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about the GAJT 310?
Okay, so yes, you're right. The GAJT 310 is just being launched. It's the latest in the long line of gadgets. We have these anti-jam antennas that are very useful in contested environments. So things we're seeing jamming in the Eastern Mediterranean, around Kaliningrad, Baltics, and various other places. There's a huge amount of jamming going on, which really affects marine vessels. So survey, military vessels, and increasingly USVs, so unmanned survey vessels or surface vessels. We have a range of gadgets. The 710 is basically a 7-element gadget, so it's much bigger, much more powerful, tends to go on large vessels, military vessels and big construction vessels, for example, and that can protect against up to 6 jammers at a time. It's got 7 elements on it, so it's very, very big and robust. But what we found was that it was too big for a lot of applications. So next in the line came the 410. It's 4 elements, the spot in the trend here.
Yep.
It can only protect against 3 at a time, much smaller, much easier to install. Size, weight, and power lower than the 710, and then we found that that again was slightly too large for what we're increasingly seeing, which is the unmanned surface vessels. So that's the launch of the GAJT 310 is designed to protect that market. So it's only got 3 elements on it, so it can protect from 2 directions at a time, but it's much smaller, lower size, weight, and power. So it's perfect for these smaller USVs, which we're seeing increasingly. So that's where it sits, and that's the aim of that product. And you're right, we're getting a lot of interest.
Different fleets, different sizes of vessels. I guess what kind of market capability does the GAJT 310 open for you?
It's really in that smaller vessel opportunity. So historically, military vessels in particular, but also the offshore vessels have been, these very large, very expensive vessels, huge amounts of power. There's no problem with space and power. But increasingly, driven by what's going on in Ukraine, but also the advance of technology, we're seeing much smaller vessels going to market. They're autonomous, they're small, they're very tiny, they have far less real estate and far less power. And that really is the gap that we were trying to fill with the 310. 710 is too big, 410 in most cases is also too big and too power hungry. So the 310 is that, trying to get that perfect combination between size, weight, and power. It can scale up onto a huge number of these vessels really easily because it's so small and so easy to integrate.
Richard, it's a pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to learn more about the GAJT 310. I wish you a good show.
Thank you very much.